spotting errors in movies can be quite entertaining. Many beloved films contain amusing mistakes that slip by even the most attentive viewers. Sometimes, an extra pops up in a scene where they shouldn't be, or a character's outfit changes mysteriously between shots. The joy of rewatching these films is heightened when you catch these unexpected slip-ups. A continuity error might lead to a character holding a drink in one frame, but completely empty-handed the next. As you dive into the world of cinematic blunders, you'll discover that these little inconsistencies often add charm to the storytelling. Keep watching, and you might find yourself laughing at how easily these flaws can be overlooked, making your viewing experience all the more fun. Critics can be harsh, but these tiny quirks often remind us that even the biggest productions are not immune to mistakes. In Gladiator, a film set in ancient Rome, there are subtle errors that can be easily overlooked. One significant mistake involves the character played by Russell Crowe, known as the Spaniard. This name presents an intriguing inconsistency because the term Spanish or the Spaniard did not come into use until the 14th century, while the events in Gladiator take place in 180 AD. This anachronism raises questions about the historical accuracy of the film. The storyline features Maximus, who becomes a gladiator after a betrayal. His journey is compelling, filled with themes of revenge, loyalty, and the fight against tyranny. As viewers are engrossed in his quest for justice, such details can slip by. These intriguing elements remind us that while filmmakers strive for authenticity, they sometimes take creative liberties. Such discrepancies might lead audiences to reconsider how closely they scrutinize the history presented in films, and how cinematic storytelling often bends timelines and names for dramatic effect. When watching Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, many viewers get drawn into the excitement of the adventure and the bond between fathers and sons. However, there is an interesting mistake that often goes unnoticed. In a particular scene, Indiana Jones is in a hurry to save his father's manuscript from a fire. The urgency in this moment is palpable, but it raises some questions about the timeline. The book burnings, which are a significant historical reference in the film, took place in 1933. While the events of the movie occur in 1938. This discrepancy suggests a mismatch in the urgency of the situation. Despite the thrilling plot twists and action-packed sequences, this detail remains an oversight that could leave some viewers puzzled. It showcases how even big-budget films can have minor slip-ups in their storytelling. Many other films share similar mistakes, where historical accuracy might take a back seat for the sake of drama. The charm of these films often lies in their adventure and storytelling rather than strict adherence to historical timelines. As fans continue to dissect their favorite movies, such subtle errors invite deeper discussions about the balance between entertainment and historical authenticity. While enjoying the classic adventure film Raiders of the Lost Ark, viewers can easily get lost in the excitement of Indiana Jones's daring escapades. However, some details might slip through unnoticed. One such moment occurs when Indiana stands triumphantly atop the treasure, illuminated perfectly by sunlight streaming in through an opening in the ceiling. This great visual begs a simple yet intriguing question. Why didn't Indy just enter through that very hole? The filmmakers designed this scene to heighten both suspense and visual appeal. Yet, considering the action from a practical angle, it raises eyebrows. Entering through the ceiling might have saved Indy considerable trouble. Instead, he must navigate through traps and threats, showcasing not only his skills but also a playful nod to the genre's conventions. This moment serves as a reminder that even in such iconic films, small oversights can surface, providing an interesting lens through which to appreciate cinematic storytelling. Audiences might smile, realizing that what appears as a glaring mistake can also enrich the viewing experience by sparking curiosity and conversations about the behind-the-scenes choices. In the film Saving Private Ryan, a key moment occurs when Captain Miller, portrayed by Tom Hanks, leans against a motorcycle after sustaining severe injuries. The scene is emotionally charged as it showcases his vulnerability and exhaustion. However, this moment contains a notable mistake that many viewers may not have noticed until now. The motorcycle that Captain Miller leans against, while adding to the film's realism and wartime atmosphere, was not historically accurate. The model used in the scene was not manufactured until 1963, which is 20 years after the film's setting during World War II in 1944. This anachronism could easily slip by viewers, as the attention is typically focused on the intensity of the battle and the character's struggles. Such a mistake is an interesting reminder of the challenges filmmakers face in creating historically accurate films. Despite this, the impact of the scene remains intact, showcasing the enduring power of storytelling even when a historical error is present. During the film The Sound of Music, viewers are swept away by the heartwarming story of the Von Trapp family, their beautiful songs, and their dramatic escape from Austria. However, many might overlook a significant geographical error. As the plot unfolds, the family makes a daring escape over the Alps, heading toward freedom. Salzburg, the city where they reside, is shown as a place they must leave behind. While the movie captures the thrill and urgency of their journey, it inaccurately depicts the geography of the region. In reality, Salzburg does not border Switzerland. Instead, it is located right next to Germany. This mistake becomes glaringly obvious when considering that the route taken by the family toward Switzerland would not logically follow from Salzburg's location. The filmmakers may have aimed for dramatic effect, prioritizing storytelling over strict adherence to geographical facts. Such oversights in movies remind us that, while artistic license enhances drama, fans often catch these slips, leading to amusing discussions and reflections on our favorite films. The small details sometimes go unnoticed, yet they can spark curiosity about the real places that inspire these fictional tales. During the adventure in the Goonies, viewers might have been captivated by the surprise of finding a long-lost pirate treasure, but one detail could easily slip under the radar. When the characters discover a corpse, they notice a 1973 Topps baseball card tucked in its pocket. This moment is designed to be chilling, yet humorous, connecting the past and present in a unique way. However, the inconsistency arises from the timeline of the story. The corpse is meant to have been buried for decades, since the 1930s, making its possession of a card from 1973 puzzling. The film's setting creates a time gap that makes this detail an anachronism. This little mistake highlights the fun yet flawed nature of filmmaking, where some details can overlook historical accuracy. Fans of the movie often chuckle when they realize that a piece of memorabilia from their childhood should never have existed in the scene, reminding us of how details, big or small, shape our viewing experience. As the chase unfolds in Sherlock Holmes, viewers might be caught up in the tension and excitement of the moment. However, if they take a closer look at the details, they'll notice that the sewer pursuit begins at the Houses of Parliament and ends on the Tower Bridge, yet these two landmarks are several miles apart. The filmmakers took creative liberties, prioritizing action and drama over strict geographical accuracy. During the chase, Holmes and his adversaries navigate through a series of underground paths, evoking a sense of urgency that keeps the audience engaged. Meanwhile, the rapid transitions between locations without showing the lengthy journey may leave viewers wondering how the characters managed to cover such a great distance so quickly. This oversight becomes a delightful little quirk of the film, leading to a chuckle for those who catch it. Such moments reveal how storytelling can sometimes bend reality, making it all the more entertaining as the audience immerses themselves in the world of mystery and adventure. Even seasoned fans of the series might find themselves pondering how these iconic landmarks are woven into the narrative. While the captivating imagery and fast-paced action are hard to resist, it's these subtle mistakes that remind us of the unique charm of cinematic storytelling, allowing our imaginations to fill in the gaps as we explore the story. Sometimes movie lovers miss small details that can affect the realism of a film, and Top Gun is a classic example. In a memorable scene, pilots exchange waves as one jet flies over another. Yet, when watching closely, one might wonder how this could happen without an accident. The two aircraft would be flying too close together for safety. In reality, the rear wings of the planes would almost certainly collide if they were that near. Think about it, the designs of these jets include large wings that extend out significantly. While the camera angle captures an exciting moment and creates a sense of camaraderie between the pilots, it overlooks the physics involved at such close proximity. This type of oversight is common in action films, where the thrill of the scene often takes priority over technical accuracy. The intent is to draw audiences into the high-stakes world of fighter pilots, but one can't help but chuckle at how cinematic license can lead to obvious mistakes. More audiences would probably notice this small detail if they paid closer attention. The intricacies of filmmaking can often lead to moments like this that make a viewer ponder the reality behind their favorite films. In the film Back to the Future, one notable detail is the DeLorean's license plate. It reads "Out Time," which has always sparked interest among fans and casual viewers alike. However, this plate presents a mistake that many may overlook. California license plates have strict regulations, including character limits. Typically, they allow only 7 characters on a plate. Outime, with its 8 characters, stretches the rules beyond what is permitted. This inconsistency is fascinating because it highlights how the filmmakers prioritize creativity and the story over strict adherence to regulations. The iconic car, with its unique plate, became a symbol of adventure and time travel, enhancing the film's charm and allure. As viewers become engrossed in the storyline, such minor details can easily be missed. The license plate serves as a perfect example of how filmmakers sometimes bend reality to create memorable moments. This little quirk adds an unexpected layer to an otherwise beloved classic, reminding us that even in the most fantastic stories, attention to detail can slip through the cracks. In The Green Mile, there is a scene that captures the haunting moment of John Coffey's execution by electrocution. However, a curious detail stands out for those who delve deeper into the film's historical context. The movie is set in the 1930s, and yet, the method of execution used is the electric chair. This raises an interesting point, as the electric chair was not invented until 1940, which is 5 years after the timeline of the film. Such a discrepancy might seem minor, but for those who pay attention to the background of the story, it brings up questions about accuracy and artistic liberty in filmmaking. The portrayal of Coffey's character is rich and complex, reflecting themes of injustice and human compassion. Yet this oversight in the setting's technology can distract from the emotional gravitas of the scene. Filmmakers often take creative risks that may lead to anachronisms like this, raising discussions about the delicate balance between storytelling and historical fidelity. This makes viewers reflect on how closely they engage with the details woven into cinematic narratives. In the film Halloween, fans of the horror genre may notice a few peculiar details that stand out. For instance, despite being set in a fictional town in Illinois, viewers can catch glimpses of palm trees in certain scenes. This presents a curious contradiction since palm trees are typically associated with warmer climates like those in California or Florida, not a windy, cold town in the Midwest. Such oversights in films can create a sense of confusion for viewers who are familiar with the region's climate. This mix-up can be amusing, as it highlights how filmmakers sometimes overlook specific details during production. The presence of palm trees amidst autumn leaves and suburban homes can serve as a reminder that even in a movie celebrated for its suspense and terror, there are moments of unintentional comedy. These little cinematic errors not only give viewers something to chuckle about, but they also allow avid fans to dig deeper into the film's production, showcasing the imperfections that come with creating a beloved classic. In the film Titanic, there is a memorable moment where Jack mentions fishing on Lake Wissota with his father. This line seems innocent and adds to Jack's character, showing his connection to nature and simple pleasures. However, if you take a closer look at the timeline, it becomes clear that this is a classic movie mistake. Lake Wissota, located in Wisconsin, was created by damming the Chippewa River. This dam was built in 1917, almost 5 years after the sinking of the Titanic in 1912. Jack's story about fishing in this lake would not have been possible since the lake did not exist during the time he would have been fishing with his father. Such oversights make viewers think about the details that go unnoticed, often adding an unexpected layer of humor when you realize how easily these facts can be overlooked. Many movie fans enjoy spotting these inconsistencies, making it a fun game to watch films again with a sharper eye. Here, we see how a small detail can become a significant error, showing that even big-budget films with extensive research can slip up in the details. It's amusing to catch these moments and share them with friends, adding to the enjoyment of watching movies together. While watching Independence Day, many viewers enjoy the exciting scenes and special effects. However, there are small details that often go unnoticed, such as the inaccurate depiction of the Empire State Building. In the film, the central image suggests that the building is positioned at a street intersection that does not actually exist in New York City. This misleading portrayal may be dismissed by most fans, but it raises questions about accuracy in filmmaking. Filmmakers sometimes take creative liberties to enhance visual storytelling, which can result in errors that slip past eager audiences. They choose iconic landmarks to create a sense of familiarity and excitement, yet not all aspects align with reality. Such mistakes can be amusing or frustrating for those who are keen observers. Movies like this remind us that, while the story may be entertaining, the details can sometimes diverge from the truth, making for an interesting conversation among fans. Many moviegoers admire the film Braveheart for its epic storytelling and intense battle scenes. However, several mistakes often go unnoticed, including the historical accuracy of costumes. One prominent example is the character William Wallace. In the movie, Wallace is shown wearing a kilt, which has become an iconic image associated with Scottish pride. Yet, in reality, kilts did not appear until the 16th century, long after the time in which the film is set. During the 1300s, the standard clothing in Scotland was a tunic, along with cloaks or blanket-like garments called great kilts. Actors in period films must portray attire that reflects the time accurately. By choosing to dress Wallace in a kilt, filmmakers sacrificed historical accuracy for a more dramatic visual that audiences have come to expect from stories about Scotland. This can provoke discussions about the balance between artistic expression and honoring historical details. Although these mistakes can serve as interesting conversation starters, they also remind viewers to appreciate cinematic art, while being aware of the differences between fact and fiction. While watching Forrest Gump, you might miss some interesting details if you're not paying close attention. One moment that stands out is when Forrest receives a letter from Apple, congratulating him on his investment in the company in 1975. This sounds perfectly fine at first glance, but a closer look reveals an inconsistency. Apple was not publicly traded until 1981. This means that the letter Forrest received does not match the timeline of the real world. Such errors, known as anachronisms, can slip past many viewers as they get lost in the story. The film beautifully blends moments of fiction with real historical events, so this small detail might catch fans off guard. While it adds a humorous touch, it can also provoke thought about how cinematic timelines can sometimes stretch the truth. This playful mixing of facts and fiction makes viewers rethink what they know about historical events. Since many people admire the film for its charm and emotional depth, mistakes like this often go unnoticed. While watching Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, you might find yourself captivated by the story, the archery, and the romance. However, amidst all the excitement, one mistake stands out. The movie is set in 1194, a time when people lived quite differently. Yet, during one scene, characters are seen using a telescope. This is odd because telescopes were not invented until the 17th century, making its appearance in the film a glaring error for those paying close attention. Sometimes, filmmakers can get caught up in adding cool elements that don't fit the historical context. This telescope usage doesn't just feel out of place. It changes how viewers perceive the film's authenticity. Instead of taking the audience deep into medieval life, it reminds them that some creative license was taken. The use of modern tools in historical settings can pull viewers out of the experience. Many films have similar mistakes, where something from the future slips into the past without the audience fully noticing. This adds a layer of intrigue when revisiting classic films. Whether you laugh or shake your head, these kinds of mistakes can be fun to discover. They keep the conversation alive about what makes a story believable or entertaining. While watching the film about Malcolm X, many viewers may appreciate the powerful storytelling and the portrayal of his impactful life. However, a closer look reveals some inaccuracies. One notable mistake occurs during a scene where Malcolm X calls for help during the fire bombings of his house. This moment is tense and dramatic, emphasizing the danger he faced. Yet, it presents a historical inaccuracy that can go unnoticed. The film shows Malcolm using 911 to call for assistance. This is quite misleading, as the emergency phone number 911 was not established until 1968, which is 3 years after Malcolm X's assassination. The timeline of the film does not align with the actual events. Such details might seem minor to some viewers, but they alter the historical context. For many, small mistakes like this can lead to misconceptions about the events and figures depicted. Films often take creative liberties, but it is essential for the audience to be aware of these discrepancies to fully appreciate the real stories behind the characters. The impact of these errors varies among viewers, yet they serve as reminders of the importance of accurate storytelling. During the intense moments of the show Teen Wolf, a small detail managed to slip by many viewers. Just before a crucial scene unfolded, the camera caught a bit of a blunder. An extra, perhaps distracted by the high-stakes environment, was seen adjusting their fly. While most viewers were caught up in the drama of the moment, this unexpected action went unnoticed by many. It became such a well-known mishap that it was later referenced in Family Guy, a show famous for its sharp humor and pop culture nods. Such examples remind us that even in professionally produced television, little mistakes can find their way onto the screen, adding a layer of humor or surprise. These moments create a unique bond between the audience and the creators, highlighting the imperfections in otherwise polished films and shows. It serves as a reminder that everyone is human, and mistakes are an inevitable part of the creative process, often making the viewing experience more